So South Africans made new inquiry, a discovery about Chidinma additional's new interview. So the TVC women on the 25th of December interviewed Chidinma additional, where she talked about being betrayed, and I did a video reacting to that video. Now, just because she mentioned that they asked her, how are you South African? Because the thing is, a lot of South Africans watch those videos to find fault so that they could nail the girl more than they have done already. And while we were reacting to her point that she was born in South Africa and the fact that she felt betrayed, South Africans went on TikTok to react that Chidimma's both parents, that she mentioned on the interview, that her both parents were Nigerians. Now, they also asked her where the name Adesina is coming from, and she said it's her father's surname. Now people are saying, this Chidimma, they thought that her mom was Mozambican, that they have always linked her. At first, when the story broke that, oh, how can a Nigerian be representing South Africa during their Miss Universe South Africa, that she was already in the top, I think top 12 or top 16. They tried to remove her, so they pushed the narrative that she stole identity, or her mother stole identity. And my question is till tomorrow is, if somebody steals something allegedly, or even if it wasn't even allegedly and the person was convicted, how is her child supposed to be arrested? Like, how can you sin and your children will now be bearing the consequences of your sin? It is not done in any way. Whosoever commits the sin is the one that goes in for the sin. Do you understand? Except you followed your parents to do it. And the girl is saying she was born in South Africa. Now, remember that before South Africa changed their laws of, or should I say their immigration laws, and even touched onto whether you will be born in South Africa and become a citizen or not, Chidima was already born long ago. I feel that it was this Chidimma's case that made South Africa government to revisit their laws. Because then, if you were born in South Africa, you were a South African. But now, if your both parents are foreigners, you cannot be South African except one of your parents is South African. Then this brings me to what happened last year. Last year, the Miss Universe South Africa had the similar issue with a lady whose parent, the father of the lady is not South African, but the mother of the lady is South African. Now, what happened? She contested and they said she should pull out because she's not South African and she cannot represent them. She had some argument. They did not agree. They bullied her out of the contest. So in Chidimma's case, the reason why it is different is because while Chidimma was doing this contesting, Nigerians did not know that a Nigerian was contesting to represent another country. What did they do? They heard when they had already made her to pull out of the competition, and in Nigerians they were still doing their own competition. So what they did was to invite her. They wrote her a letter. She turned it down at first, but when she considered so many things, she decided to pick up the letter, responded to them, and came down to Nigeria and did all the necessary things she needed to do. And that was how she became Miss Universe Nigeria, representing Nigerians in Mexico, and an emerging first runner, Miss Universe Oceania, Miss Universe Africa, and she carries this title, Miss Universe Nigeria. One will begin to wonder, what is really the problem with South Africans and this girl? Is it how much they hate her? Is it that there's something she did that they are trying to look for that they can't find? Now, Chidimma had moved on. The only thing that made those TVC women ask her question was because Chidimma was still in Lagos, and since she returned from the contest, the TVC people have not interviewed her. That was just why they decided to interview her to hear from her own side of the story. Now, when they asked her a question, how are you South African? She said because she was born there. These women now said, some people now said, No, even if you are born there, as far as your both parents are not South African. You cannot be South African. And the ladies asked Chidinma, you were born there to South African parents? And she said yes. There was this rumor that Chidinma was adopted. She's not the real child of the people. Whether she was adopted or not, Nigerian people adopted her, or Nigerian family. Until Chidinma has another interview where she begins to explain where they asked her to Nigerian parents and she said yes, what that meant. But South Africans, while you people are on about all of this, do not forget that your government, your Home Affairs lied against Chidinma and the mother. And now, if truly Chidinma's mother stole identity, I think Chidinma's mother would have been behind bars. Because some people have said the person whose identity was stolen was suffering for 23 years. She didn't have food to eat with her children. She suffered. Okay, let us assume that a woman who was 23 years at the time, a woman who was, having children, or let's assume when her passport got missing 23 years ago, she was maybe 20 years, or let's say she was maybe, let's say 22 years. So apparently she's now 45 years old. Being 45, she was 45, right? She was 45, and okay, right now she'll be 45 years. So this woman stayed alive and broke and never reported. We have asked these questions, and some very smart people have asked, show us the police station where she went to report that her identity was stolen. Show us how Chidinma's mother stole this identity and whose identity was stolen. Just show us the person. They will not need to interview her, but they should bring out the woman. They should put a family name to her name. People should be able to find her. You see, the reason why South Africans till today have not concluded Chidinma's investigation, it's because they know that Chidinma and the mother did nothing. Now, before the contest finished, the protest South Africans were doing is that they should bring Chidinma back from that protest. They wrote petitions upon petitions. At the end of the day, Chidinma came out tops in that competition. God is not a man that he will lie. She came out tops from the competition, and in that competition. And at the end of the day, they were put to shame. They have not been able to conclude that investigation till tomorrow. They have not given updates. The only thing is that while Chidinma was there, because of the much agitation, and South Africans, the lazy youths, were calling for her this thing, they revoked her ID card. And a lot of them were now happy. Yes, they have revoked her ID card. This, that. But when they revoked the ID card or they seized the ID card, did they give it back to you? They didn't give it to you. It's still in their office. It's still in the system that Chidinma should come and pick another another state where she will come from. I've never heard a thing like that. It's like saying, okay, Nigerians did competition and Cross River State had a representative. Then someone comes out to say this person is not from Cross River. And I have seen a lot of Igbo girls winning Miss Calabar Carnival, yes. A lot of Igbo girls have won that. So, and some from Bayelsa, some from this. So you go and tell them, see, because you are not from Calabar or you are not Cross Riverian, you will not win. No. Even the cultural day they did in the process of this carnival, other states won. So you cannot say I don't understand why these people reason like this. And I keep saying it. Okon, a Nigerian, won the gold medal for the last just concluded Olympics. And you people did not tell him to return it until when South Africans are able to win. You understand? So you people did that, humiliated Chidinma. Until tomorrow, you have not brought out any evidence. And that is why I'm saying that once you people are done with the court, let Chidinma's parents now sue the government and claim damages, because enough is enough. You people the South African Home Affairs should apologize to Chidinma, because they've caused that girl so much pain. Apart from apology, they should pay her for damages. South African Home Affairs, apologize to Chidinma, pay her entitlement. Apologize to her, pay her entitlement, because you disrespected her, you gave her public disgrace, And at the end of the day, till tomorrow, you people do not have proof. South Africans are still saying they have noticed that Chidimma's mother is in Nigeria and the father is Nigerian. What's your